yes, yes, yes. We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome to the first episode of Entrepreneur Mondays. So, listen, this was an impromptu. I got this idea. I thought it was a phenomenal idea. I thought it fits perfectly in with the journey to I do. What I really wanted Entrepreneur Monday to represent was the fact that we're not just committing to marriage. We're saying I do to our businesses. We're saying I do to entrepreneurship. And tonight I am being joined by Miss Cookie, the director. And you see, both of us got big hair. We're going to have a laugh about that later. But without further ado, I want to introduce Miss Cookie, the director, to dear future husband and wife, and the journey to I do. Entrepreneur Monday. She's kicking things off. So listen, y'all let me know how we did for our first episode. So welcome, Miss Cookie, the director, to Entrepreneur Mondays. How you doing today, sis?
Great evening. I am bold, black, blessed, and beautiful, and happy to be here. So, everybody that's out there, I am your girl, Miss Cookie, the director, always coming to you live and direct and in full effect. So, how I'm doing is amazing, and I'm hopeful that you all are doing amazing as well.
Absolutely. Now, first of all, I want to say thank you for just kind of accepting this invite at this impromptu last minute that I was like, you know what, I should kick off Entrepreneur Mondays. We got it together and we're here. And even in the midst of that, we know that life be happening. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. So
You're
let's start
very
with the
welcome.
heart of who's Cookie the director? Tell us who's Cookie the director. Miss Cookie, who's the director? Tell
Thank
us
you.
about who she
Thank you
is.
so much. I am an American born raised between America and the West Indies. I'm proud, I'm bold, black, blessed, and beautiful. I
All
believe that I
right.
can do all things. I don't feel like I'm hindered. I am a cancer survivor and I am a survivor of many different traumas. And I'm still happy and healthy and wise enough and have enough love in my heart to share and to give. And I stand on the mantra that I'm here to help elevate you, educate you, motivate you, and stimulate you. And that is the foundation that I stand upon. And if I cannot do that in your world and you can't do that in mine, then we have no business interacting at all.
Wow. That's powerful. A woman that wears many hats like you do. We're doing the series on the journey to I do. And it
Yeah.
was important for our audience that I'm so grateful for those who are a part of their future husband and wife and has decided to take this journey with me. But being a director, knowing the line would really signify, I would say, the journey to I do. So we think that it's really about marriage, but what can you speak of when you really think of the journey to I do? How can you really use that line to coincide with what it is that you have committed to?
Well, the journey to I do is reaches far beyond marriage. And for a person that's been married 3 times,
Wow.
the third being a charm, for the
They do say that.
the journey to I do far reaches just marriage. You have got to choose I do for you. And what does that mean? You've got to align yourself and position yourself strategically in arenas and situations where your I do can be healthy, where you can have healthy I do's. You know what I mean? So it's just about choosing the I do's that you could live with for you in terms of like vows you make. You make vows to your job. Yes, I will show up here at 9 o'clock every morning and get off of it. Yes, I will take a lunch break. Yes, I will go on vacation. Yes, I will be your wife, your husband. But what concrete I do you make to you?
Right.
So, um, for me, that's what it's all about: choosing to be authentic, organic, and unapologetic about your I do's. If you do, then stand up on what you do.
That's awesome.
If you're
So
gonna talk about it and you say that you're gonna stand up on it, then just be about what you talk about.
absolutely. I
If you
listen.
if you do, then do, and if you don't, then don't.
It's just that simple,
That
right? So, what was your I do moment to entrepreneurship? Like, what did you say yes to? Like, what did you say yes to building your own lane?
I said yes to helping elevate people, motivate people, stimulate people, encourage people, inspire people, and coach people, guide people, and also, discipline when necessary. Because discipline, people don't understand the importance of discipline. It is critical. So when you're deciding the things that you're going to do, you having non-negotiables in your I do's and the things that lead you, you've got to decide in the decisions that you make,
Yeah,
what are the non-negotiables for you?
absolutely.
You can't say I do to everything. Some things you have to have non-negotiables about.
Absolutely. I agree. I absolutely agree. Now, we really want to just have an organic conversation, and it's our first segment, so it's really important for us to just really flow. But in such a competitive world, being a director, being a creative, how do you stay up to the hour, up to the moment, with all that's going on, with all of the changes, with all that we're seeing happening in social media world, in all of the changes? How do you stay relevant and creative in all that's happening with all of the different competing other, I would say changes in
Mm.
filmmaking and doing all the things that's happening?
Well, thank you so much for asking that question. And number one, competing, I'm not in competition with anyone. That's the number
Period.
one thing. That I'm not here to compete. I'm here to bring my best in everything that I put my hands on. And just to stay, let me back that up. To the answer to your question is this: I have decided to live, not just to be alive. Cancer tried to take my life. And so I see every day and every moment as a new opportunity. I don't know how to stay in the bag of or live in the bag of lack, live in the bag of I can't, live in the mind of this is impossible, because it's not.
That's good.
I believe truly, and I know people don't understand this, and people may take this, but I truly do believe that I can do all things
Come on now.
through Christ who strengthens me.
Yes.
Now, people misconstrue that and assume that, well, can I go lift up Mount Everest? No, because he doesn't strengthen you to do that. But the things that he gives you, the
Yes.
talent that he gives you, he's strengthening you to do that. You didn't just develop that talent and that skill. He gave you the mind to be able to do what I do and to create and to write. I've been writing for 32 33 years, I think. Coming up, it'll be 33 years that I've been a writer, a ghostwriter for 33 years. And that, doing that has afforded me the opportunity to travel around the world, to meet a lot of amazing people, to be in a very um how can I say, a very interesting and dynamic group of professionals.
Mm.
And you have to understand your lane, and while doing that and experiencing all that and seeing which part of that really spoke to me and my soul.
Mhm.
I don't even remember the question anymore.
You're
but
doing good.
but
You're doing great.
okay, well, thank you, but I'm hopeful that I'm conveying the message that you needed to hear.
So you touched on something that I definitely have to tap into, and that's our
Sure.
faith. Um,
Absolutely.
how does your faith in God play, a critical role to building what it is that you're building? Because a lot of times being a believer, walking by faith, a lot of times people really don't want to incorporate their faith as much into their work because it's not popular to be a believer and doing certain things. Now I know I'm young, flying safe, so I stay God all day, every day. But how do you, remain centered and still keep God and still try to be, I would say, appeasing to those that's like not God, God, God? How does your faith play a role in building what it is that you're building?
Well, I believe that you should train up a child in the way that they should go, And when they grow old, they will not depart from it. So I was trained in the way that I should go. My grandfather was a pastor. My grandmother was a first lady. I was raised in the church, and they wasn't hearing nothing but. So I don't know how to deviate from loving Christ. I don't know how to deviate from serving God. I don't know how, and do not want to know how, from not from glorifying Him. So anything and all things that I do, He must be glorified to some degree. Now, please understand, I write a lot of provocative material. I've written a lot of Grammy winning songs that are very provocative, that say some stuff. Yeah, oh yes, that some things that you listen to right now, things that are still very popular on the radio right now. And a lot of those lyrics have, and some of the books and some of the film projects that I've collaborated with, a lot of that stuff has a lot of risque ness in it. So, but
Ooh,
that does not deter the fact that I still love Christ. You know what I mean?
come on,
So
risque.
it is. It is. Yes, some of it is very, like, for an example, one project currently that I'm working on is called Rooftop at the Ritz. Now, it's a lot of stuff that go on at the
I don't
rooftop.
know. I don't know if we're ready.
Yeah, oh, it's a very erotic uh tale. But how did we get here? We got here through some sort of eroticism somewhere. So I don't, what I'm saying is, I don't think my Christianity or my love for Christ should diminish me being able to be authentic and genuine in my talent and in my creativity. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's all.
Absolutely. It's just a lot of times when we get into Hollywood, and I'm not there yet, but you are there and you have been there and you continue to be in that space. I think that people try to balance between the two. It's either they're really high on the spectrum or they're really low. So where their faith is concerned, they're a little bit more safe with not wanting to be offensive to certain people or a certain audience. So I think for that reason, I wanted to kind of just know, how does your faith flow in circumstances and situations, because our faith, you know we don't even want to go down that
So,
direction, but our faith really does impact the roles and the things that we do. Listen, as a
absolutely.
married woman, you totally understand. It's okay because you're married and you have your husband, so it's okay to be um sexually open to your partner. But I think that, just for believers, when you are in certain arenas, it's how do you navigate being a believer and doing certain things.
Okay, well, thank you for saying that. So let me um, correct you on something. I am no longer officially married. I am a widow. My husband passed away, so
Gotcha.
I'm an official widow. However, I have a paramour who is my significant other, who is my sweetie pie, my sugar lump, my chocolate drop, my sugar bear, teddy bear, sweet daddy, papa. I'll just play. So I do have a very strong, emotional, romantic bond with my mate, and I have chosen to never remarry. I will never remarry because,
Okay.
yeah, I will never remarry, and unfortunately, that doesn't mean that I won't live as a married wife. I feel like with married for. Let me tell you why. First of all, why I won't get remarried, because I'm vetted with the United States government, and I'm not losing my benefits. Okay? Because mama didn't raise no food. That's why I'm not going to remarry. I would lose all of my benefits forever that I receive from the United States government if I remarry. So I've chosen to never remarry. And that's just
Right.
being organic. Now, does that mean I can't love and have a man that, does that mean I'm living in sin? I don't know. But I just feel like at 56 years old, what does marriage mean? A lot of people don't understand. See, a lot of people want a wedding, but they don't understand marriage. There's a difference in being a bride and having a wedding and then being married, because married is the commitment. You
Gotcha.
know,
I've said
for,
that as well.
married is the commitment. For God so loved the world that he get. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to get into that, but God loved the church like a man should love his wife.
Hmm.
And we as women should submit ourselves unto God like we should, not as we should unto our men. So I still live in the mindset of a wife, because I've been a wife all my life. In fact, I call myself, or have been dubbed by many, as a professional wife, because I've been married 3 times. I'm very knowledgeable in that arena, And
Gotcha.
I can't imagine not living my life as a wife. So despite
Gotcha.
the fact that I refuse to remarry, I'm still a wife. You understand what I
Gotcha.
mean? So the question, to answer your question, or though, how do I stay grounded with respect to my Christianity and my walk with Christ? I just strive to be the best version of me, and strive to do things to glorify God. And I wake up praising, I pray throughout the day. I'm talking to God and trusting and believing God. And I'm also leading people to the throne. I want to guide people to the throne. And I see things that's not right, I address it immediately. I don't put no
Hmm.
sugar on no, and I address things head on, face to face,
Got
direct, and with love. And sometimes people may not receive it with love, but that's how I mean it. So how you receive it, I'm unapologetic about certain things, and I'm not here um, to appease everyone.
got you.
That's not my job. I'm not here to appease everyone. I'm here to get the job done, and to be
Got you.
effective and efficient.
So I got to go back to entrepreneurship. What
Yes.
has been one of the most rewarding project that you've worked on and why?
Oh, one of the most rewarding projects would have to probably be Friday.
Mm.
Because it was one of my first real projects. Oof, let me see. Oof, I have so many. Working with Queen Latifah and Angie Stone, working on. I would have to say Project Friday. It was many many years ago. I was able to work with an amazing cast, and at the time, one of the actors was dating my sister, and so I had I don't know, working with you know um working with NWA. Do you remember? Do you know who those people are? NWA back in the day. No, not familiar with them. But anyway,
I'm like, wait a minute, who? I don't know the members, but I know of NWA.
so NWA, the title was called Niggas with Attitude. That was the name of their group. But that's when Easy E. Do you remember Easy E?
Hmm.
Okay, so I worked with that group and I did a lot of video production for them. And so that's when I got my first real taste of wanting to be behind the camera and feeling that camera and seeing that I could take, shooting their video, and I could bring that to life. And then for me to shoot it and this, to actually sit with the editor and watch how they took what I shot and turned it into something major that you all are now watching on television. When you see the show or the videos of them back in the day, that was just my eye-opening awakening, like, wow, I love this.
Right.
I that so yeah, I'd probably have to say that, working on Friday and with
Oh,
NWA.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, with when you look at how many years has it been since Friday's been out? It's been like
Oh
one of
God,
those classicals
I
that
can't remember.
it's one of those
Mhm.
classics though that everyone goes back to and talks about. Like
Absolutely.
Friday is like one of those classics that we
Classics.
hear about all the
Mhm.
time.
Right.
So what role has community or mentorship played in your journey? Being that you've been in the industry for a long time, who has helped you along the way? Because I love how supportive and how you believe in others and how positive and optimistic. But who's played a role in Miss Cookie's life that really helped her? Because some we really need our helpmate, not just in marriage, but even in building business and entrepreneurship. So who has been instrumental in your life to say, hey Cookie, don't do this, try this? Have you had anybody like that, or you just had to
Absolutely.
figure it out?
Well, absolutely. But let me ask first: are you asking personally or professionally?
Professionally.
Oh, professionally, um, I would have to say Queen Latifah was one of the people that kind of held my hand through a lot. Um, through a lot. Yeah, she really helped me to realize um, that this is not just fun and games. This is really a business, and you should look at it as a business, take it as a business, but have fun along your journey. I
Right.
think that. one of the messages that I got from her, and that was many, many years ago. But just working with a group of those guys that was into it, so let me first say this. Before working on film projects, my natural knack is writing. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my natural knack is writing. So that's why I've been writing all my life. So being able to that's a difficult question actually to pinpoint one person. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've traveled to different cities and states and worked in many different production studios with a lot of different artists. So I've worked with Mariah Carey. I've worked with a lot of different people, and I've learned personality traits from different people and characteristics and what to look for. So I was watching and listening and paying attention. I think
Right.
that is what I got more than anything, because they live in such a world where they are a little, or feel that they're a little more, uppity than others, especially the writers. They want to put us in the back with a notepad and a pen and just go sit in the back and get the work done, while we
Mm-hmm.
stand in front and take the limelight because we have the pretty face and a nice body. So you do the work and we do this, we shine. And that's okay for me. So I've always been behind the computer. I've always been behind the pen, helping to push, elevate people. And I guess that's where me wanting to elevate people, educate people, motivate people, stimulate people comes from. So if I had to like give you a one person name, it would have to be Queen Latifah.
That's awesome. That is
Mhm.
awesome. The thing is, whenever we're building anything,
I'm sorry. And one more person. I cannot leave him out. Cannot leave out Jermaine Dupri. I
uh,
can't. I gotta give him his props.
awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Um, I think I've heard on many occasions that he's very great business wise. Very great business wise. So it's awesome to
He
hear.
sits you down and he will break it down for you. You will get it. You will understand it. He will help you to see the vision. He will help paint the picture. He does it in in a way. It's like not speaking in parables per se, parables, but he gives you so many like realistic examples that you could really see yourself in, and
Mm,
it just helps make it make sense to you. So I have to, and because I love words, he's I'm not going to consider him a wordsmith, but he's an intellectual broad mind, especially when it comes to the music industry.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Mhm.
amazing. So, describing your favorite moment in these words. Describe your favorite directing moment in 3 words.
Diligence, determination, due diligence. Do your due diligence. Be
Mm-hmm.
determination, and improvisation.
Oh wow.
Being quick on your feet. You got to improv,
You
because
right.
you never know. You never know. For an example, in the event that I'm in production and we're working on a project,
Right.
and we have two characters that are playing side by side,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the characters does not show up for set. Now, the whole cast is waiting for this production to take place. What does that person do? They don't have their person that they're supposed. You got to know how to. You have to be innovative. You have to know how to improv and carry that scene and make that scene your own.
That's true.
No excuses, regardless to whether somebody else showed up or not. You come to shine. Period.
I can't imagine. There's so much that happens with being a director and doing films and production. I do PA. I am a backstage manager. I have done, I would say, more videos than I have done films. I think I did 1 or 2 or 3. But I love fashion production. I
I love.
love the go go go. I love to be a part of film production. It's amazing because when you are a part of set and you see how much hours, not a big fan of how many hours cut, same thing,
Right.
cut. But when you look at how much is put into it and you're kind of there, but when you look at how it all comes together, you're like, wow, now I was there for about 48 hours, 72 hours, trying to put this all together in this 1 hour and a half film. comes together in such a beautiful light that you're just like, wow, that was absolutely amazing to have those many scenes perfected to now put together this amazing production. So I always love the end outcome because it's always such a beautiful story that is put together in such a beautiful way that you're like, ooh, who would ever known? Cut, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. You're there all day just trying to perfect this one scene, only for the scene to be like 2 minutes in the movie. So I always just think it's funny, but I would never be an actress, so I have no desire to do any acting, but I've always loved to
Oh,
be.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy that you enjoyed that quick you know the tenacity that it takes to manage and to spearhead what's taking place backstage, because stage management and backstage management is a lot of work,
It is.
because you're wrestling a lot of different personalities, a lot of different pieces of the puzzle. There's a lot of components and there's a lot of
Yeah.
functions within each of those components. But as a director, um there's never enough hours for me on set. I'm never tired on set. The only time I get tired on set is when people are being lackluster, lazy, and not doing what they're supposed to do. Then the tough Miss Cookie comes out. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I have to be now. You have to be reminded. You
I
have to
get
be
it.
reminded that we didn't come here to play. I didn't come here to play no games. We
Trust
came
me.
here to go to the championship.
That part. So I got to ask this question: coffee, tea, or creative chaos? What fuels your best work day?
Creative chaos.
Why is that?
Because I have because my mind is not compartmentalized.
Mm,
Like I can multitask, and to some people that might be chaotic, but for me it isn't. I can do a little this, a little that, and for me a little this, a little that, a little this, that. Because for me, outside of that, it becomes a little mundane, boring, like a job that you just have to do just this. No, I want a little coffee, a little tea, a little sugar, a little cream, a little cake, a little, so a little creative kind of chaos. A little music, a little break, a little nap, a little work, a little,
a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything.
So I'm so excited that you agreed to kickstart this Entrepreneur Mondays with me. I don't think there's anyone else that would have been like, okay, let's just get it. And that speaks of your industry because, like you said, you got to be able to be like, okay, let's go, let's make it happen. And you were ready,
Absolutely.
like it's showtime. Like you were
That's it.
things are going on in the background, but you're like, listen, the show goes on. We got to keep going.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
So it brings us to what would you say to that woman or man who's afraid to say I do to their purpose or what their God's given vision is? Because there's so many people who are just fear is listen, fear cripples so many of us. Listen, we all fall short in so many ways that a lot of times we're kind of scared to take that step. I know for me there are areas that I'm like, I don't know, but you do it. So what would your advice be to that woman or man that is still struggling in certain areas and doing comes back to the I do, the commitment piece of entrepreneurship?
First and foremost, to understand that you can achieve what you believe.
I
If
found
you believe it, you can achieve it. There is nothing too hard for you if you want it, if you desire it. So if there is something that you've been sitting on, dreaming on, thinking about, and you're afraid to take the step, it's okay to be afraid to take the step. But in order to get to climb that ladder, it starts with the bottom stair. You have to take a leap of faith, because you're worth it. For many years, a lot of people have said that let me just say this. I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of roller coasters and all those things in the sky but I have wings. I don't have wings, but I'm not afraid to fly. I don't have wings, but I am not afraid to
not
fly.
afraid to
So
fly.
you have got to not be afraid to fly and not be afraid to soar with the eagles.
That's good.
Yeah. Do you know the highest flying bird?
The eagle. No?
Exactly. And do you
Yeah.
know why?
Because eagles can't fly with chickens. No, I'm messing around. No,
Well,
I might
well,
know the
well,
answer, but whenever you put me on the spot, I'd be like, wait, do I know the answer? Not 100% sure. Now you're gonna tell me the answer because I'm assuming you already know the answer.
well, I do, and I'd like to share it with you and your viewers. So the eagle is the highest flying bird because the eagle is one of the wisest birds.
Mm,
So when the eagle is soaring, okay, and that front eagle gets tired, it knows that it's
mm.
time to take its position and fall to the back so
Come
that the
on
next
now.
eagle has momentum to fly higher, and the one that's in the back is now helping to push and elevate the ones that's in the front. And when this one falls, gets tired, it falls to the back, and the next one, so the
Oh,
momentum
I've
does
heard
not
that.
stop. The momentum does not stop, and so that's how we grow, that's how we climb, to know that we can't always be in the front. Sometimes you have got to take a back seat, but still push your project and push your people forward.
That's so good. I
Yeah,
think that's really good.
it's yeah, people don't understand that in order for a vehicle to move, there are many parts of that vehicle. You can have a Lamborghini, one of the most expensive cars, right? A Rolls Royce. You can have any of those cars paid off, but if they don't have any gas in it, it's not moving. If
That's
the tires are on flat, it's not moving. If the engine is don't have oil in it, it's already antifreeze, it's not moving.
right.
We need all of the ingredients to make this engine move.
Absolutely.
If we want to take our car from here to there, we have got to have a steering wheel to guide it. We
Mm-hmm.
have to have gas, we have to have truck. There's so it's a lot of moving parts. And in order for anything to be successful, teamwork makes the dream work.
The
You have
dream
to have
work.
yes, teamwork helps to move and to position people forward. And sometimes, you're the leader of the team, but sometimes the leader has to fall back like the eagle if you truly
Yes.
want to soar, and let someone else take the lead when you get tired and when you fall short, and
That
be
that
okay with it.
That is awesome. That is, I've heard I've heard that when the Eagles are in formation, that one will get tired and know how to get back in position. So I've heard that before, but it just kind of, there's so much that can be said actually about that statement. It just means that you got to be around the right people. That means you got to be connected. You got to be humble enough to can get back in position because a lot of times people will be tired and they still keep going instead of saying, you know what, I'm tired. Let me fall back. So you have to recognize when you're tired. And a lot of times we're tired, we keep going.
Absolutely. But you know what? You got to keep going. If you don't have people that you can rely and depend on, and you get
Mhm.
tired, you must keep going
Absolutely.
until the show is over, because the show must go on. So if your people are not doing what they're supposed to do and they're not helping you to soar, then you've got to just keep going and not give up.
That's a whole word right there. A whole word. So it's our first segment, and we want people to start, getting used to the segment. So we want to keep them too long. But it brings me to this.
Hi, Dr. Miles. Nice to see you.
I
Your
hope she's
guest.
still on. But it brings me to what's next for Cookie? What's next for Cookie? What's next for the Miss Cookie, the director? What's coming up next for you, and how can we support that?
Thank you so much. So what's coming up? First of all, I have my store, stanstore.i /I design for you, the number for you, where you can find a lot of my some of my books that will encourage and inspire and empower you to elevate yourself as well as elevating others. But I have a few book projects, I have a few film projects, and I'm hopeful to be able to throw in there something that I recently decided on, which is Kanye's Fashion Week. This is totally impromptu, but I want to bring Kanye's Fashion Week right here. Hi, Dr. Mao. Nice to see you. Very informative session. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
that's awesome.
So, yes, Kanye's Fashion Week is something different, and I just feel like we need that here. But I also want to yeah, I just wanted to to publish some great books and to turn those books into amazing film. That's where I am. But in addition to that, I also teach a class which is Design, Print, and Profit, and I should be doing it more often, more frequent. But it's called Design, Print, and Profit. So it teaches people how to design digital content, how to print it without paying anything for the printing, and how to profit from that. So Design, Print, and Profit, and then my book and film projects.
That's awesome.
Here's something that this is um exclusive. This is something very exclusive.
All right, come on with the exclusive.
I'm going to share. So I should have brought the banner down here to show you, and I'll show it to you a little later on. But I'm also launching a male and female bath and body and candle line. So the male line, and I've done a lot. I have a lot of the materials and things already, beautiful banners and things created. And I've not shared this with anyone, but I'm gonna share it here. Don't tell nobody, but tell everybody. So the male's line is called Alpha. Keeping the alpha male agenda alive is my mission in life. Because I just believe. Let me share something with you. Just a moment. 1 second. So keeping the alpha male agenda alive is very important to me because I feel like far too many times this is the Alpha Male Daily Journal that I created. So this is a daily journal for men to encourage and inspire them to become their better versions of themselves. Now this is the 2022 version. I don't have the 2025 four version in front of me, a 2025 version in front of me at the moment. This one was just at hand's reach, but I do have journals for the Alpha Male Journal. So it's the name of the men's line is called Alpha Man Strong all day long. And
Mm,
I believe that men, that we were created and designed in his image. He designed us to be alpha. He designed men to be alpha men. And so my job is to help keep the alpha male agenda alive because far too many times our men are becoming women. Our men are wearing skirts and dresses and earrings, and that is not alpha. That is not godly. And so my job is to help keep the alpha male agenda alive. And my long-term goal is to establish AMU, which is Alpha Male University.
awesome.
Okay. So the men's line is Alpha Man Strong all day long. So that's the candle, the bath and body products, and so forth. And of course, it'll be socks and underwear and undergarments. Alpha Man. Could you imagine some nice Alpha Man draws with the alphabet? Okay.
I hear you. I'm here for it.
And thank you. And then the woman's line, don't tell, but tell everybody. It's called Fruits of the Spirit.
Oh,
Fruits of the
I'm gonna
Spirit.
need the patient line. I'm gonna need the patient line.
Okay. And so it's beautiful because if you get the collection of the Fruits of the Spirit collection, you can spray a little love today. You could wear a little, peace tomorrow. You could wear a little patience
Patience.
next week. And so they have beautiful fragrances. So yes, the candle line, the bath and body product line. So that's what's next with Miss Cookie. It's a lot going on. Chaotic.
But it sounds amazing and it
Thank
sounds
you.
very necessary and relevant for the times
Thank you
that
so
we're
much.
in.
Thank you
So
so
I
much.
greatly appreciate you for tapping in with us. For anyone that's watching the replay, if you want to be featured, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a small business, I would love to feature you. We're here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to connecting with you guys. Love it. Hey, Dr. Mel.
And I
Thank you.
love that. And I love that. So you're doing from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what you're doing weekly? At
We're
eight
going to
o'clock,
be doing
a
it
1 hour show?
weekly. We're going to try to see how the flow is flowing.
Okay.
And, this is kind of our pilot project to kind of see how it's going to take off and see, because I want to make sure that anything that we start, that we're consistent in doing it. We've officially grown
Absolutely.
our YouTube. So we're navigating. Tomorrow we have Purpose Power Call, and that's going to be a phenomenal segment as well. So do Mondays and Tuesdays. We got the entrepreneur, because that's such a critical and important part of kingdom business and committing to the I do purpose of who we are. And then we got the power call. The power call is powerful. So we're going to see what else, because relationships is part of everything that I do. So we're going to see what other days we might incorporate a Sunday where we do relationship real talk Sunday chat. So I'm still trying to see how YouTube Live functions and how it operates. So I know with Instagram, we can have about 4 people on Instagram. So we'll see how that works. But I greatly appreciate you for navigating this chapter and this new extension of the brand with me. So y'all stay
Now,
tuned.
may I ask a question before you leave off?
Absolutely.
What is next for Simone R. Johnson?
Oh man, what is next for Simone R. Johnson? This amazing, flourishing platform, along with the Journey to I Do magazine that's evolving, that is getting ready for print. That is the next chapter. I think that's going to be a phenomenal chapter for me, building the community and remaining consistent. My I Do is commitment and committing to something. And a lot of times life happens. A lot of times we're thrown off. A lot of times things will happen. You know, you knew that firsthand today. And we throw in the towel when life happens. And our brand, our business, what it is that we're called to is the first area that is often affected. So remaining committed to the plan and the purpose that God has put before me and building. It's not about numbers, it's about quality, not quantity for me. So having conversations with people that I feel like if I can be impactful to one, I've always believed in the power of one. If there's one person checking out this YouTube live, I'm okay with that because you never know what the information or the conversation or what it would have sparked in them to commit to their I do, their commitment to whatever it is that they're called to. So it's really building and keeping the consistency and having just great women and men be a part of these conversations every Monday and every Tuesday and building this amazing magazine that I so believe in.
Well, I had the opportunity to preview the magazine, and I just like to tell you how proud I am of you. I
Thank,
think you are doing an amazing job. May God continue to enlarge your territory and to to
thank
allow you the creativity that you need, and to send you every single person, every single soul that you need to help elevate you, motivate you, stimulate you, and encourage you to take the world by storm. You have something special, Simone, and I'm so
thank you.
super proud to be connected to you. I'm proud of what you're doing, and to know Young Black Woman Editor in Chief, making your own lane, carving your own way. I'm proud of you, and bravo. And with that, I'm gonna take my hat off to you and say good night.
You are such a mess. Thank you so much. I am truly grateful for those kind words. It's not easy building a brand, but commitment, consistency, and we're going to keep going at this. So, with that being said, we're signing off, y'all. Have an amazing night. Good night, everyone. Thank you for tapping in.
Good night.
Good night.